Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Afro-Bomb Queen. We are still in Feb, hence babe is still here. Say hi to the people.
Okay, let's say thanks to Feb first of all for giving us an opportunity to be here. Some of us we're not normally here, so Feb is giving us that chance. Hi guys, I hope you had a wonderful time with our first episode. So this is our second episode, hoping that you're enjoying it and you're learning a lot.
Yes guys, and please do share this content with everybody that you think might need it. Continue to like, continue to subscribe, and continue to comment. I'm gonna go through each and every comment and each and every suggestion, so you might as well just drop your view.
Yeah.
So babe, let's take it a notch higher. So last time we told you guys how we met. And now this week we're going to take it a notch higher. We did not get a chance to date, guys. After that whole will you marry me over the phone, which did not last long. That was 2011. April 2012 we got I got lobolat. We got engaged formally in church, and in September we got married. And at that speed, people actually thought that maybe I was pregnant. You know that.
It's a culture. It's almost a culture.
Exactly, it's almost a culture to say, yo, abazalwane.
Once you get married,
very quick.
Even if ngobazalwane within black communities,
yes.
Once you get married that quick after you've met, yeah, there's suspicions.
You're covering a pregnancy or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got married because we didn't see a reason why wait.
You know.
And we also I don't believe in get to know him or get to know her. So I was like, if this is a decision I'm taking, I'll face everything else on the other side of the bridge. As long as I had a confirmation from God, because if I don't trust myself, I definitely trust God. So
I think also it is important to put it out there that the feelings and the love part. It's something that came instantaneously.
Yes.
After now we started, charming, flirting, and doing all those things, and after we started taking our hearts and putting them out there, so that naturally followed. And I think God does not make mistakes, because we found that everything in us is comparable. Yeah. So we were just completely comparable and complementing each other very well. So yeah, it was not a case of now let's wait and see how we feel.
Yeah.
We already knew within a space of a month in this thing that okay, this is what we want to do. And
also I remember you saying there are some challenges you believe that should only be faced on the other side of the marriage, of their relationship, which is marriage. So you believed that there are things that we should not face yet. We'll face it on the other side. So the sooner we get married, the better, so that we can start dealing with life for what it really is. And by then, there's a firm commitment. And guys, when you are dating and I do something small and he's like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. But when you're married, on the other hand,
there's a commitment.
Exactly, there's a commitment. So chances of you just walking away are going to be very slim.
Yeah.
So fast forward, we are now married. So our dating period was basically us planning our 2 weddings. We had 2 weddings, one in my home, Matibiri in Mpumalanga, and the following Saturday in the Eastern Cape, because we are that far.
Yeah.
We come from that far.
So we met around March.
In 2011.
Yeah, 2011. Then we got married the following year in September. So our, if you call courtship, was 1 and close to a half year, so to speak. Kinda. Yeah. So that's when we
were busy actually
planning and get to know each other all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So babe, now we are married. Now I come from a family, you come from a family, and we are becoming one. Guys, this is tricky. That is the trickiest thing I think for me.
Yeah, because we're starting a new life. But now we're not coming into this new life
alone,
without baggages, so to speak. You know, so there are issues around extended families. So we're going to discuss that today.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about that. There are issues around extended families. She's Betty, I'm Xhosa. I'm from the Eastern Cape. She's from Mpumalanga, and we are from two different worlds
altogether.
Yeah, two different worlds. So she was raised in a certain way, I was raised in a different way. So when we got there were challenges. What was your challenge now?
Okay, for me, I come from a very small family, so my family is very
compact,
tight, very compact. So I was very close with my sister. I still am, but if I were to highlight, I'm very close to my dad as well, then my mom, then a little bit to my brother. But if I were to go in order, it would be my sister, my dad, my mom, then my brother. But generally, my sister was the biggest problem, or rather a challenge. If there's one thing that has challenged me as a young woman getting into marriage, was having to understand that my sister cannot come into the marriage with me. And guys, that was tough. That was really tough. Like, I literally spent every weekend with my sister, and I was literally spending every free time I had with my sister. I remember we used to work 60 kilometers apart, and whenever there was a holiday in the middle of the week, I'm definitely going to my sister the day I knock off, and I'll come back on the day of the work after the holiday. So we were that close. And now when the wedding came, we were planning the wedding together, my sister and I. So we got even more closer. Now is the wedding day. This is it. So much that my sister cried so bad at the reception. Like, she cried, she wept. And when I later asked her, she was like, that's when it dawned to her that I'm leaving. I'm leaving. So even if we're in the same area, but the truth of the matter is that I am leaving. She can't have me the same way that she used to have me. And that was a very difficult time.
Yeah, I experienced it firsthand. I mean, you were really struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, you were totally struggling without your sister. And again, for me, it's a new experience as well. The way I've been brought up and the way I've watched this thing is, when people, they come into marriage, they don't bring, you know, their extended families with, you know, the entire emotions of that and stuff like that. So it was new. Dealing with it was kind of tricky as well. And
but you know, babe, I think we were on the extreme, because I know there are friends that you literally cut off when they got married. Like, you were like, okay, they're going to start their family. I'm not friends with you. Not really, I'm not friends with you anymore, but you totally just literally cut them off. So for me, that was strange. I believe in people will fall off along the way, because the relationship was not built overnight, and it's not going to fade away overnight. So the relationship will fade up until a certain extent, where you have an understanding that, okay, friend, we don't talk as much, but when we do meet, we talk, we catch up, and after that, I'll probably won't be calling you for another whatever time, 6 months, a year. I've got friends like that. And I did not deliberately decide that, okay, now that I'm married, I'm no longer calling my friends, and that's that. I need to focus on being Mrs. Makaka. I didn't believe in that, but that's what actually you believed in.
I think I believed in that even before I got married, in a sense that there were friends of mine that got married first before me. So when they got married, I gave them space immediately. I didn't even wait for them to, you know, I gave them space. I understood. And because these guys were born again, you know, so I understood that most of them did not get a chance to actually date for years. So what I did is, when they got married, I gave them space so that they get to know their partners and their new life and stuff like that. Because remember, we're still buddies, you know, but now we cannot be as buddies as we were before. You know, he's a man with a family. I'm still single. I report to no one, so to speak. So it was a challenge.
So we were different in that sense.
Yes,
we were very different in that sense.
It posed a bit of a challenge. It took getting used to
Yeah.
on my side.
And also, I had to also kind of lean onto your side, even though it was very, very hard.
Yeah.
It was very, very hard.
She wanted to be a girlfriend, you know, a girlfriend, and while she's kind of married, which was weird for me, because it was like, can't we focus on this and make this happen?
Everything else aside.
And she was like, can't we do all of them all at the same time? It was a challenge.
Yeah.
It was a challenge.
Okay, on your side, babe, what would you say was the biggest challenge coming into marriage?
On my side, insofar as extended family is concerned, yeah, it was setting the boundaries. Again, this comes from experience,
Yes.
so to speak. My family is larger than hers, so I've got uncles, so to speak. So
I do too. We're just not as close as you all are.
we are, you know. So I grew up with like in my grandmother's house, so I saw my uncles getting married, and the entire family was involved
Sure.
in the day-to-day marriage of some of my uncles. You know,
Wow.
It was a long time ago. So it was at the time where umakoti would have to come as a water,
family,
and ahlale pha for 6 months, 7 months, or a year before they get out and stuff like that. So the entire family was kind of involved day to day in their marriage, and it was hectic, yo. It was totally hectic. So I saw that, and I thought to myself while growing up, I wouldn't like this.
No.
This is what I wouldn't like. So I made a decision that, listen, I'm not gonna, number one, buy a house and stay here.
Okay.
Number two, I'm gonna stay away from electric. I'm gonna stay away from electric. I can't have my family here, and my new family here as well. And also, I needed to set the boundaries in terms of making them understand if the extended family, where does it start for them and where does it end? You know, that was a challenge, and I had to do that before I told you anything in terms of this is how my family is, kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, I had to talk to them and explain to them. The moment they agreed, when I said, this is the woman I want to marry, I saw a woman they want to marry, then they said yes. That's when I started to explain. It was challenging because
I can imagine.
my uncles did not understand it.
I think it's because extended family feel entitled, guys. They feel entitled. They don't want to let go. They're like, this is our child. We don't know this new person that's coming and that's going to dictate how and when we should see our child and
casually so, or sometimes aggressively so, in other situations. They want to be part of the decision making inside the marriage, and this is what breaks up many marriages of young people today. So it was a bit of a challenge. So I had to explain to them that it can be, you can go from this to that
until here,
and it took a getting used to, you know, from their side. They realized that we're not after some time they realized that we're not bad people. Like, I'm not trying to cut them out, and my wife is not trying to kick them out. She's happy. She's happy to be in Eastern Cape when we're in the Eastern Cape, but we needed to decide things for ourselves, you know, without outside influence from the family. And especially when you talk extended families, if I was giving them money,
it was going to be,
you know, before I got married,
religiously so,
every month I'm sending them money and stuff like that. That is still expected
even
after I've gotten married.
True.
Like my cousins, my sisters, my brothers, they're still expecting it. My uncles, my mother, father, they're still expecting it. You know, so that now becomes a burden because there's a new family here, and financially a new family is hectic. So this woman as well needs to understand that part. You know, so such things, and this thing, they break the families. Because now, if I'm no longer giving them money as I used to,
it will be because of me.
It's automatic. Yes. It's automatic that you came in, now the well of finances dried up.
So it's not because you've got new responsibilities, it's because of that woman.
You see now, it becomes a challenge. So explaining things very early was that important for me. Yeah, it was that very important so that they understood quite perfectly. So that was my challenge.
And you know, babe, because you went ahead and did and actually faced this before I even came into the picture, it made things so much easier for me. So much that when I go to the Eastern Cape, I'm at home.
Yes.
I am treated like one of them. I don't have to go Tiza. I don't have to really feel out. Okay, it took some getting used to, especially with some things. But the foundation of it was well laid. And by the time I got there, I was like, okay, this is home. This is home. So as a result, when we have to go there, I don't feel like, oh,
you don't
my God, oh my goodness. So much that I can even just go there on my own and just go and see my family, you know, because of what you did.
And that does not mean that if she see a need where she needs to plug in, like work, for example, she just doesn't. No, she does what she can do when she's at her house.
Yes.
You know, she does what she does when she's at her house. You like back in at her family's house, like at her mother's and father's house.
Yes.
So it's not an issue. It is the same thing when it comes to her family too, in a sense that when I got there, I was day one made aware that I'm going to be treated like a son. Day one. So when I'm there, I'm like one of the sons. So there's no certain specific attire that I need to wear, you know, and certain attire that I don't have to wear, you know. So I'm free, like I'm treated like a son. And my wife also, when she got home, my mother sat her down and said, up to this extent, you're gonna wear this. Then after that, you are free, and she's really free indeed, you know. So these things are better when they explained earlier.
In the beginning, like
it brings me to another point. The issue of now, since we come from different families, we wanted to develop our own culture. We didn't wanna just copy and paste like our backgrounds,
yes,
and unite it and make one thing. No. We wanted to create our own culture, the new thing for this Magaqa family, you know. And again, that was challenging.
Sure.
That
it was not easy because we always learn from experiences.
You know, and that in Duam, it took learning from each other. I'm from a family where I was raised by a single mother, Umakuluam, so to speak. And she's from a family where she was raised by mother and father, and a very close, tight-knit family, you know. So she knew marriage lifestyle kind of better than I did.
Differently from what you knew in terms of the upbringing. I was brought up in a different setup. You were brought up in a different setup. Now we come here, we have this setup, but at the same time, like you say, we don't want to copy and paste.
Yes.
So developing our own culture meant that, guys, you know what Baby said about setting boundaries from day one. It got to a point where on my side I didn't exactly do that, and it got to a point where my dad felt he can just come here and start laying the law. start laying the law. It got so bad to a point where my husband had to step in. Why? Because it was not done in the beginning like it was done on his side. And it was because I always took for granted, like, he knows he's a married man and he's never wanted anybody to come into his house and tell him what to do. But you know, dads and their daughters, they just they think nobody can do a better job. Like, honestly, you have to constantly prove yourself, even though they won't say it. the mere fact that they come into your house and they want to make rules for you, it means that they don't trust you enough to actually get this household together. So it's really, really important, guys.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it took us learning from each other in a way.
Yes.
Things that I liked that you brought, and things that you liked that I brought in, like being willing to learn those things and say, I would like that to form part of this culture, that to form part of that culture. And also, you know, we don't have things like a house built in the Eastern Cape where when we retire, we're going to retire there and go and retire there, or a house in Mpumalanga when we retire. We decided early on in life that we're going to stay in Pretoria and we're going to be buried there. And now the tough part, we needed to go and explain that to them. That
especially on your side, because for me, anyway. But for you, it was something
I needed
else.
to explain, because they would want to come and take me. Okay, we've come to take him, we're going to bury him in the Eastern Cape. So I needed to explain that, hey, when I'm dead, you have to come here and actually
bury me here.
And you go back home after that. Exactly. You know, so such things.
Sure. Such cultures are deep, guys. Like that for them, it was a shock and a half. It's the same as they strongly believe in initiation school, and we have a son, and my husband and I decided, he mostly decided it, and of course I did not oppose, that we're going to have him circumcised as early as he lands on this earth. And they don't understand that, you know. But again, it's the culture that we wanted for our family.
Yeah. So the extended families, guys, can be hectic, and they can totally build the marriage, or they can totally tear it apart. But it depends on how you handle it.
True.
I think, we have exhausted
this. Okay, guys, that is the small piece that we had on our side, our small experiences. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, please share these videos with people that you think might need, especially people who are still going into marriage. And we'll see you in the next episode. We love you guys. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
God bless you.